What's up, Bears fans? It's your boy, Coach T with Chicago Bears 360, back with another live show and recording for you guys. Listen, if I make mistakes, y'all know how it goes. I'm going to clear it up in an edit, but we're back. Welcome, Super Bowl Sunday. It's a Super Bowl party, right? As you guys get geared up. I know y'all going out and get snacks and all that other stuff, Super Bowl eats, you know what I'm saying? All the top brands, you know what I'm saying? The wings, the meatballs, barbecue, all that good stuff, man. Listen, I got a good show for y'all today. Listen, we're just going to talk. I'm going to go over some film. I'm going to catch you up on Bears news. We're going to look at some common opponents. I think we're going to get into Coach T's playbook today. Has been a while since I've done that, so I'll look at common opponents for these two Super Bowl teams and how they match up versus one another. So we'll get in some film work. Y'all know how I like to do so much that and so much more. Y'all know what to do. Lock in as you come in. Make sure you like, subscribe, tap in, man. Let's have a good time. Let's just party it up a little bit and celebrate this Super Bowl Sunday, an unofficial holiday. Y'all know what's next. Cue the intro, Maestro. Let's go. Contra.
Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. I'm high as fuck in the sky, you would've thought I'm pilot. I'm from Chicago, it get ugly, fill the streets with violence. Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence.
Past, present, future. We bear down.
And just like that, we're back, Bears fans. Thank you for joining the show. I'm your boy, Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. Do me a favor as you come into the comment section, as you come into the video, do me a favor, like the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and or share on your favorite Bears platform. What I care about is, again, I care about being consistent with my takes and riding with that. With that said, we have a perspective from another, say a person that does film in the NFL world that put out a take after, I guess, watching the film, Matt Bowen, who's a writer for ESPN. And he had this to say about his take on watching the Caleb film situation. And then I'll get into some other stuff. Hopefully the sound remains up while I do this, but this is Matt Bowen's take on this. Let me see if it cuts my sound out. All right, hopefully I still got audio. Matt Bowen said, listen, here's his take, and this is what he wrote for ESPN. QB Caleb Williams, strong athletic frame, upper tier arm talent, instinctive passer with springy release, right? That's the quick release, springy release that we always talk about. Throws with power, touch, location from multiple platforms. Mobility, field vision to create difference, making plays as a runner/thrower. Tends to turn down layups, opting for home run throws. Will extend plays to his detriment, right? Will extend plays to his detriment. Aggressive mentality can lead to negative decisions. Must play in structure at a higher rate. Top 5 prospect, which we all knew, with the traits to produce in any system. Right. So the Caleb supporters, and I'm going to break this down for you. The Caleb supporters are going to focus on the last line, top 5 prospect with the traits to produce in any system, which I don't disagree with. My take has never disagreed with that. But the majority of my take is built on the ability to translate what he's done now in college into the NFL. And it really, a lot of my concern personally, it's around the second to last sentence, which is must play in structure at a higher rate. Now, I'll say this. I think not enough nuance is given to must play at a higher rate, play in structure in a higher rate, right? 2 people that I know of besides Matt, well, Matt and another person uses the whole play in structure, analysis of Caleb's play, right? I think my take goes more into depth in the sense that it defines play in structure as plays in a Lincoln Riley system that is highly predicated on RPO, the RPO game, right? It's in my estimation in the games I did, like I said, argue with whoever. In the games I did, it was about at a 75% rate that the system itself was RPO passes. You know what I'm saying? And by comparison, Jaden Daniels, if you go watch his tapes, about 90%, 90+% of his passes are full NFL reads, right? It's full field NFL reads. So you see what Matt Bowen has to say. That was published this week. Matt Bowen was published this week. I did my take weeks ago. I'll say weeks ago, probably a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months, 2 months ago, weeks ago. It was weeks ago. That pretty much said the same thing, right? Early on, before I did my film study, one Dan Orlovsky went on ESPN and said, at the time, you know what I'm saying? He said, I'll take Caleb Williams. But at the time, I also went on X Twitter. I said, when Dan has a chance to see this film work, watch as we get close to the draft, watch his take change. Watch he flips, or it's going to seem like he's flopping on his take on Caleb Williams. Let me show you what he had to say just recently, at the end of last month or towards the end of December on the Dan Patrick Show, and then we're going to come back to it.
I guess give a little bit of the Cliff Notes version of how you broke down Caleb yesterday.
Yeah, I think it starts with this. He's listed at 6'1", 210. So what is his size actually? That's starting point. And the reason why I think that's going to matter for teams, and that's going to be, again, a preference thing, Dan. If we find who are the last 4 or 5 quarterbacks, and I've been swayed in this world, to be honest, that were not the biggest guys and went early. So Baker Mayfield, he's kind of had this roller coaster of a career. I'm a Baker guy, but he hasn't played the number 1 pick. Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, obviously this year. So some of the smaller stature guys, they haven't necessarily excelled. And I do think that there's some fair conversation, because if you are a smaller guy, I think Kurt Warner talks about this all the time. You better be awesome in structure. You better be an absolute dude when it comes to seeing it and throwing it and playing with the anticipation of ball placement. So Caleb's not the biggest person. Teams aren't going to like that. Drake May is massive. He is your prototype. Okay. And then I think when it comes to the out of structure, in structure conversation, number one, he's unbelievable out of structure. When the play isn't there on the field as we expect it to be on paper, and he's got to go make something out of nothing, he's awesome. He is Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar in that regard. He does that a lot. He does not do in structure often. And the reason why, or you start to ask yourself, well, why didn't he? One, was he asked to do it a lot in Lincoln's offense? Did Lincoln Riley demand it from him and stress it from him? Because look at C.J. Stroud. Ryan Day demands that of his quarterbacks in college. Well, watch C.J. Stroud in structure right now. He's unbelievable.
All right, Dan Orlovsky from ESPN sitting down with us now on Radio Row.
Let's go.
I was watching yesterday when you broke down.
So I wanted to bring that up for a reason, because you know what I'm saying? People try to play me, bro. They be playing in my face. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. People be playing in my face, bro. And sometimes, I'm telling you, most of the times I don't care. But I'll say it like this. Most of the times I don't care. Probably 95% of the times I don't care. But when people come out, like Matt Bowen come out and say the same things that I say, people like Dan Orlovsky come out and say the same things I be saying. And the reason why they try and play in my face, because they're like, you're a high school coach and all this other stuff. It doesn't matter, bro. Football is football. This is my point. I don't care about the whether we take Caleb Williams or Justin Fields in the macro sense. I want y'all to understand that about me, right? Personally, whether we take Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, I don't have an agenda. It doesn't matter. And I say this all the time. and people think it's arrogant, pompous, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, I'm either gonna be in the 100 section at home and away games, or I'm gonna be in the press room or press box covering this team regardless of whatever happens. It's not gonna affect my life either way. I'm still gonna be a Bears fan. I'm still gonna cover the Bears. I'm still gonna be Bears DIY media. I'm still gonna be Bears media or whatever the case, no matter what. But what I care about is my take, that I'm saying, that I'm seeing and saying and being consistent. That is credibility on this platform. And people cannot try to do the three tactics that people do when they're trying to quote unquote hate. And the three tactics they try, the three tactics that they try when they're trying to hate is, one, they try to dismiss what you're saying. They try to be dismissive of what you're saying, right? Then they try to discredit you. The three disses. They try to dismiss you, they try to discredit you, and then they become disrespectful. And I'm connected to Justin Fields. I asked the same question that many people have asked over the years, and this was Quincy Avery's take on the whole Caleb situation. I'm gonna play that for y'all. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about it.
I actually got to watch a good bit of Caleb Williams, and that's just something I was gonna do anyway. He is a tremendous talent. Now, honestly, I don't think that Lincoln Riley's offense is an offense that does a lot in terms of preparing you for the NFL. And what I mean by that is putting you in a position where you're doing things that are going to be similar or congruent with things you're going to do in the NFL. That RPO, that air raid system is not something that creates like reads and those fundamentals. Can Caleb Williams do it? I'm very confident that he can. Has he done it before? No, he's not. Right? So taking that for what it is, very similar to Patrick Mahomes, right? Patrick Mahomes in college, he wasn't asked to do any of those things, right? He would drop same sort of or same family of offense that Caleb Williams is in. You just kind of look around, make things happen. The NFL requires you to play on time, play on schedule. Yes, that flair we're talking about, the same thing I was talking about. Yeah, then you go get to be yourselves. Yeah, do that. But first you have to start with the fundamentals of the offense, understanding how to work through reads, work through progressions. Something Caleb Williams is going to be able to do, but it's very, very hard for me to evaluate his film from an NFL perspective when the things that he's doing are so not NFL-y. Tremendous talent, great mover, elite arm talent, can make every single throw, and that's tremendous spatial awareness. So I can understand why we are so hype about Caleb Williams.
And there you have it. That's the Quincy Avery take on the whole Caleb Williams situation. And again, there's no agenda from Chicago Bears 360, right? I want what I want too. I'm a fan as well. I want what I want too. But again, it goes back to what I said earlier. At the end of the day, for me, it's about what's best for the player. But for me also, from a content creative DIY media standpoint, it's about the consistency of the tape, the accuracy of the tape. For those that would question, my ability to evaluate film, this is making sure it aligns for you right now. If you want to, hate anyway, then by all means do that. But understand that Darren Orlovsky, first of all, I made the tape, or I did the film evaluation for myself a couple months ago, a few weeks ago, about 6 to 7 weeks ago. It might not have been that long. Darren Orlovsky aligns. Matt Bowen aligns. Quincy Avery. We're all aligned on what we're saying. So if you want to take that and run with it, by all means. I just want to make sure that, the 360ers, the people that come up here and show up every week, every show, and spend your time enjoying the content, know that we're on point over here. We're doing our thing over here. Responsibility, if you will. Either way, let's keep the party going. All right, let's keep the Super Bowl party going. All right, so what else is going on in Bears land? Got to go to the Ian Rappaport report and talk about that on the same subject. Ian Rappaport reporting that it would take a historic haul for the Bears to deal the number one pick, deal the number one pick to whoever. That's an indication that Justin Fields will be traded. This is a direct quote from Ian Rappaport. That's an indication that Justin Fields will be traded to make room for whoever goes to the top pick or goes with the top pick, presumably a special talent in USC's Caleb Williams, right? That's the take from Ian Rappaport. I love it. I love the messaging of that, right? And that could mean one or two things. The Bears really like Caleb Williams and plans on taking him, which I don't have a problem with because I feel like we have a structure in place to welcome Caleb Williams into. I feel like even though there's been criticism, I think JSN from Seattle Seahawks was a little critical on CHGO of Shane Waldron as an offensive coordinator. You still can't deny that Shane Waldron is a huge step up from what we've had in Luke Getsy over the years. Now, all the detractors will say, well, Luke Getsy got a job at Las Vegas and all this other stuff. Listen, Antonio Pierce's reasons for hiring Luke Getsy wasn't good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say that right out. Because he beat you with, you know what I'm saying, with Tyson Bagent, and you guys couldn't find an answer to stop him. That wasn't good enough. That wasn't detailed. It wasn't nuanced enough for me. So I understand people, you know, they'll hop on that. Luke Getsy got a good job. Listen, I've told y'all throughout the season, I've said this repeatedly, the NFL has a coaching crisis going on. And probably one of the better things that I'm seeing is going on in NFL, and I'm excited about for the NFL. I'm starting to see a lot of these college coaches, college coordinators starting to make the skip to the NFL to insert fresh blood into the coaching lines in the NFL, the coaching ranks of the NFL, because the NFL has gotten stale. There's more jobs available. There's more jobs available than it is qualified candidates, in my opinion. A lot of nepotism has crept its way into the NFL ranks as far as the coaching is concerned. We see too many people, from my perspective at least, we see too many people come in and they can do things from a coordinator's position, particularly offense, which has so many eyes on it. They're doing things that just don't make sense. So shout out to the Las Vegas Raiders for, you know what I'm saying, taking that challenge on. I think there's, again, a number of reasons why they would, you know, take the chance on a Luke Getsy. Like Antonio Pierce said, you know what I'm saying, they beat Las Vegas, or we beat Las Vegas with Tyson Bagent at the quarterback. Also, Devontae Adams is over there, who Luke Getsy coach was credited for being largely responsible for getting him to play well in Green Bay. So it's you know, it's a good old boy network. Let's just call it what it is. The NFL is, and a lot of this is based off a relationship. It's not based off of, you know what I'm saying, proven ability. Watch, I mean, he got the Chicago Bears job and did a terrible job, in my opinion. But a lot of the NFL jobs are based off relationship. They're not based off of, you know, what you've proven you can do. If that was the case, then a lot of the older coordinators that the NFL scene has phased out of the league, in lieu of, you know, going with these, you know, young hipster coordinators and all this other stuff, then a lot of those coordinators would get jobs. But if you look at somebody like, you know, Jim Harbaugh, he comes back into the league, and what is the first thing he does? He hires a Greg Roman. He goes and gets a veteran coach, you know what I'm saying, to bring in and start his, you know, his new tenure off in Los Angeles with somebody that he trusts, that knows what they're doing. That's a relationship thing too. But it's this thing, man. I don't know what's going on in NFL. It's like, bruh, either way, I like the messaging for this Ian Rappaport report because it indicates that there may be some trust from the Bears front office. This is one option, that there's trust, in the Bears front office really sees Caleb Williams as a viable option at quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Or B, they're leveraging, they're negotiating through the media. They're not only saying, hey, you need to bring in a haul if you want this kid, if you want this pick. But not only do you need to bring the haul, but the time is now to start talking. Because I feel like the closer we get to the draft, the less leverage the Chicago Bears have. You know what I'm saying? You want to make somebody make a bad decision, then you make them make a quick decision, in my opinion. Like now I do business management and all that other stuff for a day job career. You want to make people make a bad decision, make them make a quick decision, right? Shorten the timeline for the decision. So I like the messaging if part B or plan B or what I'm saying, part B of this conversation is true. You send the message that one, it's going to take a haul. Two, you need to pick up the phone and start picking up the phones now, guys. Business is open. Business is open. I'm listening to all hops. Come with your best and your brightest, right? Those are the options. Those are what we have on the table. I'm sure there's a third twist to this, or possibly twist to this. Y'all can let us know in the comments how y'all feeling about it. But that's where I'm going with this. Also, Jeremy Fowler reporting the Chicago Bears are expected to have strong interest in the Vikings DN Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter as a possible free agent signing for the Chicago Bears been floated out here. Again, this is the time of year where all kinds of stories start coming out of nowhere. You thinking about it, it's Super Bowl week. You know what I'm saying? You know, where does this come from? Like, you know, where does this come from? Is it players' agent floating this stuff out here? Like this is a destination. This is somewhere I would like to go. Because you got to think about where's the source? Where's all this coming from? Like there's connection. As I get more and more to the media game and I'm starting to make some of these connections even on my own, I'm starting to see this part of it is a relationship business too. And it's who do you trust and all this other stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Who do you know? Who do you trust? Who has connections to who? All this other stuff. As I'm starting to collect names in my phone as well. You know what I'm saying? So where does this come from? Where does this come from? Probably a play agent floating a preferred destination out there and so on and so forth. But how do we really feel about a Danielle Hunter in Chicago? This is my take. Agree or disagree. This is conjecture. This is not X and O. This is not film. This is open debate. This is open conversation, if you will, right? Here's where I go with this. Ryan Poles, continue to build through the draft. Whatever you do, build this team through the draft. Continue to be consistent with what you said you were going to do from day one, right? Get you an edge through the draft. And I know at some point we have to start spending money. But here's my concern with starting to just throw dollars around. First of all, Danielle Hunter just got paid in Minnesota on 2 contracts. He and Kirk Cousins, probably 2 of the NFL players that has fleeced teams. And I'm not saying fleeced in the sense of there hasn't been value from their performance based off of what they got played. But he has 2 of the better contracts along with Kirk Cousins as anybody I've seen in the NFL. So, you know, their agent, whoever he is, if it's Drew Rosenhaus or whoever, they've done a good job of making sure, you know, they're getting the bang for that buck in their contract. Kirk Cousins is probably going to retire as one of the richest quarterbacks that ever played an NFL game. Danielle Hunter got a bag out of Minnesota, you know what I'm saying, coming into the season, I believe. And it's probably looking to get another bag on his next team. But I think Ryan Poles, the smart move is to do what he said he's going to do, continue to build through the draft, stay away from pricey free agent contracts unless you absolutely have to, or when you're ready to make a swing, and I mean swing for the Super Bowl, then you start spending money on free agents, right? Free agents. It is football take, Chicago Bears football from a coach's perspective, man. We try to be a little entertainment too, but we try to have fun with it. Listen, man, Eddie Jackson making some noise out here on X and Twitter. He's taken some of them down since, but cryptic tweets about his future with the Chicago Bears. It's been fun. Chicago, all this other stuff. Like, bro, what are we doing? Is Eddie out of here? Is Eddie out of here? How do Chicago Bears fans feel about Eddie leaving the Chicago Bears potentially? Eddie was a key instrumental part of this rebuild, if you will, but I think somebody has probably, told Eddie ahead of time out of respect. And I wouldn't put that past Ryan Poles, right? I would put it past Ryan Poles to go ahead and tip Eddie off and let him know, bro, we're not going to bring you back. We're not going to bring you back. We're giving you some heads up so you can start negotiating deals on the back end, find a destination. We just, we need to clear out some of this money. Again, it's about same thing with the Danielle Hunter take, bro. You got to keep the books clean. You got to keep the books clean. You got to keep control of your books. You got to keep control of the salary cap if you're going to build a championship team. All right, next topic. You know what I'm saying? I would be a Bears fan if I didn't bring this up, man. Listen, shout out to Steve McMichael, Mongo, my man Julius Peppers, all the Bears fans and Panthers fans debating on X and Twitter about, you know what I'm saying, the fact that he's in a Bears jersey or Panthers jersey. Man, yeah. Well, we debate about everything. Just celebrate the man. Getting into the Hall of Fame. Mongo, you know what I'm saying, all his tests and trials with his illness, so on and so forth, finally getting the nod to get into the NFL Hall of Fame. And then shout out to the Windy City Flyer, none other than Devin Hester. Getting the nod, man. Well deserved. Well deserved. You know what I'm saying? Undebatable, undeniable, a GOAT in the NFL, the best returner of all time, kick or punt. You know what I'm saying? Finally getting the nod to go in the Hall of Fame, overdue. Shout out to those guys. Got to bring that up. You know what I'm saying? Again, Devin Hester upsetting everybody. The fact that you couldn't get out of your seat, you know what I'm saying, when special teams was part of the game because Devin was back there returning plays. The bench is cleared on both sidelines to see what this guy was going to do. Never forget, just coming back from Japan, touring Japan for 6 years. They allow us to watch a whole lot of Chicago Bears football over there. The base commander was a Bucks fan. So anytime we woke up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Japan to watch football, there was probably about a 95% chance that we were going to be watching Tampa Bay Buccaneers because the base commander was a Bucks fan. You didn't get to see other teams in the military stationed overseas. And there's a different time back then where you didn't have all this, all these platforms, all these streaming platforms where you can just go out and get your team an NFL Sunday ticket or whatever the case may be. It's a different time. So we were forced to watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a good 4.5 years. And I never forget coming back in 2006, 2007, the Bears are in the Super Bowl, and the opening kickoff Super Bowl, Devin Hester takes it back to the house. The small things I remember. You know what I'm saying? Last but not least, just on topics, man, I got to give a big shout out to the MVP of the league. You know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson. Shout out to running quarterbacks. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the game of football, NFL football, college football, even though I don't follow it closely, high school football, youth football. As my man Quincy Avery says, you know what I'm saying? Football is football. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate Quincy because he coaches it still at middle school, high school, college, and the NFL. He coaches quarterbacks at every level. Football is football. And I love how the game is evolving. I love the fact that we have an NFL MVP. And I think it's largely based off of what you do for your team, what you do for the NFL, but also the level and percentage of how you account for your team's success individually, even though it's a team sport. That team relies on Lamar Jackson a lot to do a lot of things. And again, being the best player on an NFL field has to account for something. And I like how the NFL is evolving to make you account for both a quarterback's arm and his legs. Because guess what? I'm not a tactical watcher of the game. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between, in my opinion, between somebody that watches the game tactically or somebody that watches the game strategically. You know what I'm saying? I like what running quarterbacks or dual threat quarterbacks make or force defenses to do. I like to see how defensive coordinators have to respond to the fact that if you play a whole lot of man coverage and you turn your back to the quarterback, then it's going to be a problem. The fact that he forces you out of man coverage and you have to come up with something you're going to do or pick and choose your spots that you play man coverage is a strategic aspect of the game. I like that. I like to do this first. I can't just jump into it, man. I got to produce the show. We ain't done this for a while, man. So let's do it, bro. Let's do Coach T's playbook. Do I still got it up? Let's go.
You know I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. How you want it, dog? Huh? Closed casket? You remember that fool in the wheelchair? How you think he got there?
Surgical with this joint, Jake. Shout out to my man Renzo, Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? Training Day, one of my favorite movies. That's my guy. Stop screen sharing. I thought I'm gonna screen. Oh, I gotta put it up on the board. That's right, man. I'm surgical with this film work. One thing we're gonna do on Chicago Bears 360, man, we're gonna get to the film work. But let me come out of here real fast because I want to make sure I want to explain why I'm doing this, right? I'm doing this because Miami, although the weather was terrible for this game, Miami gives us the best look at what and how you go after Kansas City, how you choose to attack Kansas City from a schematics perspective, right? So, you know, I know this is what the coaches do, man. They look at common opponents, common styles of play, and you don't necessarily copy, but you look at it as a clue as to what we're going to try and get into, how we're going to try and get into it, right? So that's why I want to throw up some film work, do some film study with y'all today, talk through some scenes live without, you know what I'm saying? This is unrehearsed. It's live on the show. This is not, you know what I'm saying? This is as good as you get. It's unfiltered. It's you know what I'm saying? So here it is. Let's see how they try to attack Kansas City. Let's look at about 2 or 3 series, and hopefully you guys can see really good. I'm trying to brighten up the screen the best I can. Next year, I'm going to have better software next year. I'm trying to bring some software in where we're looking at better images and stuff like this. Right now, this is the most convenient way to do it, where it's more intuitive and on me and less stress on me, and I can still get the job done. So here it is. One thing about Miami, bro, they going to shift you to death, and they going to last minute shift you, right? And what does that do to a defense? This is where I get into my bag, bro. This is my favorite part of doing DIY media, social media, whatever the case may be. This is what I feel like separates our show from the rest. Shout out to them. This is a teaching platform. One thing Miami's going to do, they're going to shift you to death, right? Now, let me take y'all back into coaching one-on-one. Let me pull this off screen real fast because I want to talk to y'all face-to-face about this. Let me take y'all to coaching one-on-one. Day one, while the players are at home, taking their day off, coaches are getting together, bro, and they're formulating the game plan for the week. Day one, you're throwing up on, you're having your coaches meeting, offensive meeting, and you guys are throwing all the formations. You're picking through your formations. You understand what the other team does well, and you're going through your formations to pick out what they do well, but what formations compromise them, the other team, the most. What formations put the team in conflict, or what they like to do the most. So day one, you got all your formations on the board. It could be 15 different formations, 20 different formations, 30, but you throw them on the board before you even picking plays. You want them formations because you compromise teams with your formations, your shifts and your motions first, right? Then you go through and pick plays. Then you go, okay, I want to attack this part of the field, this in the run game. I'm going to go, inside zone, mid zone, outside zone. How do I get to that, right? Or I'm going to go gap power concept. I'm going to run my powers. I'm going to run my counters. Or we need to attack the perimeter. So I'm going to run my toss plays. An extension of the toss plays might be jet screens, your jet sweeps, and then an extension of the swings, extension of the toss plays to the perimeter. You might start getting into your screen game, right? I need to attack the perimeter. How do I get out there? How do I get out to the perimeter? I can do toss, I can do jet sweep, I can do screen, however number ways you can get out there. You're out there. If you go to the screen game, or you go on tunnel screen, bubble screen, what all different type of screen, running back screen, tight end screen. You start throwing all that together. But it starts with the formation. It starts with the formation shifts and motions, and then y'all get into trying to choose what specific plays you need to attack. So Miami does a good job of that. I think San Francisco is going to do the same thing. They're going to try and shift. So you see, shifting is key to it. How do you put them in compromise? The details, the subtle details of the game that, again, fans won't pick up on, but it's so important. Watch this. Let me put this in slow motions too. I want to break this down. Subtle differences, subtle things that fans don't see. Watch this. Going back. Watch this. On the defense right here, the defense has a strength call. The strength call is basically splitting the field in half, and recognizing the strength of the formation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 players to the defense's right. 1, 2, 3. And if you count the running back, 4 to this side. Or if you just count the guys past the center, 1, 2, 3. 3 to this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to this side. So the strength call right here for the defense is going to be something that starts with an R. It's going to be rip or Liz. Those are traditional strength calls. Rip, Liz. You know what I'm saying? That means if you're playing in a 4-3 look, the rip tells the defensive tackle that's a 3 technique to line up at the 3 spot, outside eye of the guard, get in the right gap. And then that's going to tell the inside guy, hey, get in the A gap. Because as the 1 technique, if the strength was to the left and they called out Liz, then it flips. It's the opposite. This guy would come to the 3 technique. This guy would go to the 1. That's why it matters. That's why you have a bunch of shifts and motions, because you're trying to get these guys over here on the defense thinking, trying to get them moving around. You don't want them to just line up and play fast, pin their ears back and come after you. You want them moving around. You want them having to communicate. You want to have them talking and all this other stuff. Playing what we call dynamic football on offense. You don't want static football. You want dynamic. You want a bunch of stuff moving, pre-snap, shifts, motions, all that other stuff to get these guys talking, thinking, because it slows them down. So if you see right here, now we're shifting the numbers. Now we had numbers to the right. Now they shifted the formation and went with an I formation. Now the defense has to move these guys over. You see this guy go inside. Well, they're in the 3-4 defense. So 3-4 defense, it plays a little bit different than 4-3. But it still matters where this guy shades now. Where these guys shade, the 3 inside guys, it matters what they shade. But because you move the strength of the formation from the right to the left, now they got to switch up the call. Give you a Liz call. You have to line up the right way, get ready to play ball, and everybody have a gap. This guy has this gap. Well, these guys are usually 2 gappers and 3-4, and then so on and so forth, right? So that's the why of that, right? You putting the defense in situations they don't want to be in, right? Making them think already, right? Single high safety right here, 2 high. I told y'all how to read coverages. Count the number of safeties. Look at the cornerback depth and leverage. If I'm looking at this 2-eye safety, looking at the cornerback depth, they're pressed up, man coverage. I'm calling this 2-man. Because these guys are pressed up. I'm showing 2-man. That's how you read the defense pre-snap. Safeties, cornerback depth, if they were back here, and leverage. If they were back here and they were looking towards the inside, or they were trying to force the receiver, they were playing outside leverage, meaning they were protecting the sideline and trying to force the receiver inside. I would say it was 2 zone. Simple way I read coverages when I'm watching film. No big deal, right? What does that equate to? If I got two high safeties, man pressed up here, man pressed up here, what does that say about the box? That say this is a 7-man box. I don't even have to look at it. That's just football math. Two safeties, man pressed up here. I don't have to look at it. I know there's 7 men right here playing because you just know football. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. What does that mean to me? If I'm a quarterback and the coach is giving me the option to check out of a pass play and run the ball, or he's giving me a hard rule that week to say, hey, on first down this week, if you see a 7-man box, feel free to check to a run. We feel confident that we can run the ball against this team all day long. Anytime you see two high safety, right, 7-man box, and it's first down, you can check. Feel free to check out, right? That's something you might tell an NFL quarterback, right? Because you got a stud offensive line, you got the fullback back here, you got a tight end in the game, especially if I'm in 12 personnel right here, right? Or 21 personnel like we are right here. I got a dog at fullback, I got a tight end right here, and it's a fullback, a tight end versus, and then say if they were in nickel defense, right? And my shifts and motions went from a multiple spread formation to going into a power formation, and I caught them in reduced personnel or nickel or dime personnel. You best believe if my quarterback don't run that ball, we don't have a conversation on the sideline. That's the strategy to get. That's a part I love. Gotta love it, man, because it's chess on the football field. That's what it is, right? So you let them run the play, you let them get to it. I'm running this ball. I don't know what they did, but I'm running this. And now they shifting the motion again. Oh, we want to get to the outside. Cool, great, quick toss. Should have got more yards out of that play, buddy. Good play. Should have got more yards out. Somebody didn't do their job, I'm telling you. So you see right there, you know what I'm saying? Miami, first 15 plays, Miami thought they can get to the outside. Near the inside zone. Boom. How's it working? I'm going to let some of these plays because I just want to look at some film and talk ball. How did they choose to attack Kansas City defense? They try to get to the outside. They try some inside zone. Now they're going to spread them out. Trips right, trips out, trips white. I'm calling this in my formation. It's going to be trips white, like a wide nasty or something. Trips. Wide inside. This guy, X. That's an X, Y. Yeah, wide nasty or wide something. You're giving a name to something to bring this guy in. Otherwise, he would be out here in the wide look, right? And what are they trying to do? Third down, they just trying to get a first down. They're desperate. False start. Let's play ball. All right, I'm going to go a little bit faster, y'all. I like to teach. So if I start talking a lot, then that's because I'm teaching. All right, here we go. Classic trips. Some kind of inverted trips look right here. Usually it's two guys on. By the way, quick quiz for y'all. How many players have to be in the backfield or off the line of scrimmage in a given formation? You can kind of count it and give a clue to it, right? How many should be on? How many should be off? It's easy to count the number off. All right, quick quiz in the chat. You've been following the channel for a while, you know what that is, right? So classic trips look, trying to get a first down on 3rd and 13. Good luck to you. Too high safety, and this guy's playing deep middle. They're probably in reduced personnel. Kansas City is. This stuff right here means nothing to me because now you're behind on downs and distance, and it's like, what do you do? Yeah, let's just run a safe screen play. If we get it, great. If we don't, let's get positive yards. Why do you just try to get positive yards on that play right there? Because guess what? Even if you're not getting first downs, it's still this chess match in football of shifting the field position. So you still need to get positive yards because say if it's third, like it was right there, it's 3rd and 13, and you keep it at 3rd and 13, you get an incompletion, then the ball is still placed where it is, right? It's still placed where it is, and it still matters that when Kansas City takes over the ball, they're that much closer. 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards. They're that many yards closer to their end zone. right? So you still got to get positive yards because the field is always shifting, right? It's shifting throughout the game. You might not get a first down on this drive, right? But still shift the field position, right? Or you get 2 first downs. You might not score a touchdown, but still move the ball so you can shift the field and force the opponent to start deeper in their territory, right? So let's go to another drive. That's the first drive. Miami didn't do a whole lot of nothing, right? So go to the second drive. Here we go. This is still within Mike McDaniel's script. What is he trying to do? Now he's going with another power formation. Here we go. Got another fullback in the game, tight end in the game. What is that? 21 personnel. If y'all don't know personnel, by now you follow the show. I'm not going to shame you, but come on. 21 personnel. Here we go. Oh, funky screen right there. That was a nice play. See, when I watch these guys, when I watch Kyle Shanahan, I'm gonna tell you why I like Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniels, that whole coaching tree. Because as an offensive coordinator, you steal stuff from that playbook. Like, when have you seen somebody run the screen like this before? This is crazy. Everything about this play says they finna run a power play up y'all's, down y'all's throat, pause, and you better hang on because I'm finna run it right at you. But then they come out with this. It's like split the running back, fullback. I'm a linebacker. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? You split the running back and fullback. Nothing about this play said screen before the play. You got a fullback run out there, and you remember how I talked about getting to the perimeter? There's many ways to get to a perimeter. See, the first series, he's tried to get to the perimeter with a sweep, right? A quick toss sweep. So obviously, Mike thought that getting to the perimeter, and this is telling the story of what he thought. He thought the perimeter, maybe their corners don't tackle well, right? Or the strength of their football team is up the middle. So let's stay away from that. Their corners don't tackle well, so let's try and attack them on perimeter. Because he ran a toss on the first play series. Now he's going back with this screen slash thingy on the second series. So getting to the perimeter is a priority. And you see right there, 8 yards. Look for Kyle Shanahan to do the same. Because here's the thing. Why do you watch the film, coach? Why would Kyle Shanahan watch the film? I want to know what worked. Were you successful in getting to the perimeter? How did they answer? If they didn't answer you, they won't have an answer to me, or I'm going to make them do something. I'm going to make them face it until they develop or get better at it and learn how to answer these questions. Off tackle. Remember the first series? They ran kind of mid-zone, off tackle. Now they're attacking off tackle again. They're saying we're not trying to come right up the middle with nothing so far. Again, back to the perimeter. Why? Somebody saw something on film that said, get to their perimeter. This is how you attack this team. You're probably going to see this today. Here we go. Okay, boot off the perimeter. Contingency play. All right, contingency plays. Let's talk about contingency plays. All right, cool. After I've established that, hey, I can get off the perimeter, off tackle to the outside, I don't just do it the whole game. I need to have that play set up another play because I've shown I can be successful getting out here, getting off tackle or getting out here. Now my contingency plays is fake the toss sweep. Again, what's your play off of your initial play? You should have 2 or 3. Fake the toss sweep, boot off of it, and let's get some easy money in the pass game or running. Good play callers. Good play callers have certain traits and tendencies. 1, they have an identity. 2, they have good formations that compromise the defense. They have good shifts in motions. They have an identity in the sense they know how they want to attack teams. They know who they are. what their strengths are, what they can get away with, how to attack other teams, right? How to get to where they want to get. Like if you drew a tic-tac-toe board on this football field, you go line right here, line right here, line right here, line right here. Draw a tic-tac-toe on the football field and decide what quadrants are you trying to attack in the football field on the tic-tac-toe board, right? Right now they're saying I'm attacking out here quadrant in the running game, out off tackle, right? That's where I want to attack. I'm not coming in. I'm not running anything up the middle. I'm not running at this dude. Nothing. I'm not running at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're trying to stay away from somebody at the end. Probably that all-pro dude down in there that who's made a few Super Bowls doing this job. Probably him. Again, more screen stuff. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City's going to sit in too high safety today, probably, versus the 49ers, too. Yeah, more screen stuff. See, they like the perimeter stuff. Look for Kansas City to attack the perimeter. Maybe if the end result of this game was net positive, that Miami was good at attacking the perimeter, then they're going to copy it. That's what they mean. It's a copy paste. It's a copycat league, right? That's the down and distance right here. Ooh, picked off. Yeah, that did intercept. It did say start 3rd and 5. Let's see if he had something else right here. Open. Ooh, it's freezing this game. It's a left to right read or high to low. Tariq was covered. Maybe you could check that. No, he just missed. So, yeah, I think it was a good read. He just missed. All right, one more series of this one, and we'll move on. Looking at Miami attacking Kansas City. Common opponent, common styles if you just joining us, right? This is how you watch film and why you watch film, how you attack teams using the film, right? Coaches look at common opponents, common styles, look to attack teams in similar ways, look what was successful, what wasn't successful. Try to stay away from the unsuccessful stuff. Try to stick to the successful stuff. There you go. What is my screen? Fake the stuff up the middle, take a shot. Yeah, pass interference. Tariq scores a touchdown. Boom. Yeah, man. See, here's the thing, too. I want y'all to see something because I said, stay away from the middle. Like they're trying to stay away from the middle. This is a great example. Like this is just smart play call. I'm going to stay away from the middle as my script, right? I'm going to stay away from attacking the middle of the line of scrimmage as my script. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fake like I'm not going to stay away from it, but when I show anything to the middle, it's going to be play action, which is, you know what I'm saying? That makes sense. It makes sense to me. This is what I'm talking about. Like Luke Jesse would call plays. It just didn't make sense like that. There was no continuity. There was no good story being told. To me, watching this is like, even though Miami lost, this is like reading a good book, a good novel. Like you're following along, you meet all the characters, you know this person does this and this person does that. Mike McDaniel's telling a great story right here. He's like, hey, I'm trying to attack off tackle. I'm trying to attack the perimeter, right? I'm going to run boots off of attacking the outside off tackle and perimeter. But I'm not going to stay away from the middle of the defense. I'm not going to actually run a play in there. But what I'm going to do is fake like I'm running play in there, run play action, right? Just to keep you honest. Because guess what? These linebackers are thinking, guess what? Everything has come off tackle out on the perimeter. So they got in their mind and their feet just ready to run to the outside or play off tackle, right? So he run this play, he goes, oh shit, they're running up the middle. I got to play the running it first. Watch these linebackers on this play. Watch the linebackers. Well, see, they get sucked in. You see what I'm saying? They get sucked in. Now watch this. Tua doesn't have to take this shot right here. And you really not looking to take this shot when they're in too high safety. You got a safety over the top, and you got this guy right here. But he's trusting that Tariq's going to blow passes to you. I'm betting this guy's coming over the middle somewhere. He's probably going to be wide open. One of these two guys. Look, man, you could have got that. You could have got that. You see what I'm saying? That's made open by them faking the run up the middle. But again, when you got Tariq Hill out there, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You bet house money. See, I like that part of the game. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I like when offensive coordinators tell good stories. You know what I'm saying? Strategy of the game is cool, right? Boom. Let me come back to y'all. I'm gonna pause this, come back to y'all, see what y'all talking about in the chat. We haven't done a film study, Coach C's playbook in a while, but y'all know how much I love this part of football, man. What y'all talking about in the chat? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tua missed that throw. Missed the throw. So Justin even shout out to Cornelius. Yeah. Listen, man, this is a footballism. I've said this all the time. Nobody likes hearing it. They don't like listening. But guess what? Turn downs, it's going to be about 10% of your throws a quarterback is going to throw down in a given game. Mark my word. Bookmark it. Any given game, any quarterback, they're going to throw down. They're going to turn about 10% of those throws. They're going to turn down. Yep. You're going to be like, oh, the guy was wide open. Throw the ball here on your all 22 observation. 10%. If he threw 40 passes during that game, 4% of them are going to be turned down. 4 of them are going to be turned down. Bookmark it every time. So every time somebody's open on all 22, because people are not used to watching film before, they don't watch film like that. The expectation that you throw it every time is just not real. Next time, I'm your boy Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. It's always chin up, chest up, and bear down, man. I'll see y'all next time. We'll talk soon.